Hi everyone, I'm Martin and welcome to another coaching talk. Today I'm going to be talking about lost mojos. Now it's that stage of marathon training where most of us are starting to feel it. The initial excitement's faded, the hard work is hard, and whilst it can feel as though the race is no time at all, the training is still building up and it can all feel really daunting, and we still have loads of running still to do. So it's no surprise that quite a few runners, whether novice or experienced, are finding that motivation is waning at this point. It's not unusual, and you shouldn't give up. And here's a few things that I think that you can do if you find yourself struggling. So number one, have a break. Okay, unfortunately, not a full rest week with no running, because the key to marathon success is consistency of training. But sometimes backing off mentally or physically can be just what's needed. If you're following a plan, you should have already had a cutback week where you cut back your mileage and intensity to help you recover. If it was a while ago, or if you feel as though you need another, consider putting another one in. Replace one of your harder runs with an easy run, cut back your long run distance by a few miles, and maybe just forget the sessions overall for a week and just run. Go and find your favourite locations or your favourite runs and just do those for the week. Make your runs fun again. So join a club, maybe sign up for a smaller race or go to park runs, run with your friends. If you don't have any friends that run, go for a virtual run with them. Speak to a friend on the phone whilst you're running and they're sat at home. So that will also help keep your effort easy, because you've got to have a conversation whilst you're running. Now, if the long run is stressing you out, break it down into smaller chunks and reward yourself when you hit those little milestones. So it could be having a jelly baby or two every mile, a new podcast, or a new soundtrack that's upbeat at halfway. Maybe meet a friend at a certain point, try out a new route, or even do one of those crossroad runs where you go 4 miles in one direction and then back, 3 miles in another direction and back, 2 miles in another direction and back, 1 mile and back. And there you've got 20 miles and you've never actually gone 4 miles away from your home. So ask any good runners Facebook group if you're short of suggestions as to what to do, because runners are very creative, because we've all been through it all before. You're not the only one. Number 3, be kind to yourself. Make time for decent rest, food, those sorts of things. Take some time to reflect and be proud on what you've achieved so far. It's really easy to look at the marathon journeys of others and think, I'm so far behind and I've not done what they're doing. But your journey is unique, okay? Ignore what others do and just do you, okay? Reward yourself for what you've achieved with maybe some new running clothes, maybe a sports massage, or maybe even a new pair of running trainers. Give yourself that sort of buzz with a bit of new kit. Number 4, run one run at a time. Okay, now this is what experts call focusing on process goals. You know what your ultimate goal is, which is the outcome. Okay, but it can seem very overwhelming looking at your longest long runs that are coming up and also race day. Many runners are posting on Facebook at the moment that I've only just managed to do 13 miles and I was absolutely dying. How on earth will I double it? Well, the same answer is, how do you eat an elephant? Okay, you have it one bite at a time and break it down. So just focus on what you need to do each day to make it happen. Your checklist for each day may include things like do the run on the plan, eat well, get enough sleep. Doing each one of those things consistently will take you to your marathon without you needing to consider the bigger picture. Okay, from now until race day, it just builds up a little bit by little bit. There's never any big jumps. This especially applies if you're injured, okay, which can be really frustrating at this stage. Seek professional advice as soon as possible, and again, focus on one day at a time. Your checklist for this might simply be do today's cross training or the physio exercises, And then the next day, it's the same thing. And the next day, it's the same thing until you're in a position to resume full training again. And number 5, you can't manage even one run. Now ask yourself, do you really want to do this? Okay, be honest with yourself. Is it worth making yourself miserable? Running is a hobby. Hobbies should be enjoyable. Now, if you are really struggling, skipping runs and beating yourself up over it, it may be the right time to put your training plan on hold. So not for long, okay, but your priority is regaining enough energy, positivity and interest in running to allow you to continue. Focus on taking the pressure off and maybe make one run a positive experience, okay? Start by simply putting on your running kit and getting out of the door, even if it's just for a walk and then a little bit of a run once you're out. Run for as long as you feel like, at whatever pace you feel like, okay? Maybe again, reward yourself afterwards, finish at a coffee shop, grab yourself a coffee and walk home as a cool down, have a long bath, put a sticker on a reward chart, something like that. Any immediate positive action that makes you feel as if you are achieving something will help your motivation, and build up slowly until you're ready to follow your plan again. Now, number 6, seek help. Okay, now this can take any form that will benefit you, but remember that you're not alone. Okay, there's so many people going through this at the moment. There are a number of great Facebook communities, okay, including my own, and there'll be a link in the comments to this, full of lovely runners who will support you in your journey and provide lots of ideas for you. Maybe a physio if you've got niggles, or a close friend, particularly if you're feeling overwhelmed with everything, that can come around sort of to run with you. Or if you're feeling overwhelmed with things like fundraising, if you've got a charity place, everybody's got ideas that can help. And of course, you could try a running coach. They don't have to be expensive, but they give you the individualized training plan, the support, the accountability that may just get you to where you need. Now, what may be particularly helpful if you've had time off and you need to start a plan is just speaking to a running coach, even if you don't use their training plans. Okay, I run Ask the Coach live question and answer sessions each week in my club, my Facebook club, which is perfect for this if you don't want the full commitment of coaching. You can also do things like one-off mentoring calls, just to have a chat with somebody who knows the running scene, how to get back into it, and who can offer professional ideas. Now, above all, okay, don't give up. Remember why you wanted to do this in the first place, and remember that you are not alone. So many runners struggle at this point in training. There is a way forward. It may need a bit of creative thinking and accessing some support, but you can do this. It may mean that you have to sort of change your outcome goals of what your finish time or how the marathon will be to you on the day, but you can do this, okay? And when you're wearing your finisher's medal, okay, and eating everything that's in sight, you will be so glad that you did. So, are you currently struggling with a loss of mojo? If you've lost it before, how did you find it again? Okay, please let us know in the comments so that we can all help each other through this. I'll be back next week for another coaching talk. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your week and enjoy your running. Take care. Goodbye.